Et maintenant, s'il vous plaît, joignez vos mains et criez comme un renard enragé. C'est le podcast Dieu et Satan. Merci. 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 Oh. Vous êtes trop gentil. Vous pouvez tout revenir. Merci. Merci tout le monde.
What was that? Sounded like you were speaking in tongues.
French. We got some really good feedback from last week from marketing. And they thought it might be good to do the second episode in a different language. And French was top of the list.
I can't speak French.
What do you mean you can't speak French?
I can't speak French.
You must be able to speak French.
I can't.
You're the Prince of Darkness. You're the king of the underworld. Not every evil person that turns up on your doorstep's going to be able to speak English, are they?
Well, that's why we put them straight through English lessons as soon as they join. It's the first thing they do. The first 20 years, they learn to speak English. What made you think I could speak French?
Your job. The job role, the job description. When we first advertised for the role, one of the key criteria was to be multilingual, I believe.
Well, I can tell you now, I've been doing the job for quite a few thousand years, and no one has ever asked me to speak in a language other than English. And actually going back to the job role, as you describe it, if you cast your mind back, I was the only candidate. Well, no one else applied.
No, that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant how many people applied.
It's not irrelevant.
It is. It's irrelevant.
It's very relevant.
Not very relevant. It's irrelevant. We advertised with criteria, and I expected those criteria to be met. No. Who interviewed you for the role at the time?
Who do you think?
Right. Okay. Hang on a minute. Mr. Ghost,
Hello.
how you doing?
Hello.
Big G here.
Hello, Big G.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here with the devil.
Hello,
just
devil.
recording
Hello, Stu.
our podcast, and the subject of languages has just come up.
Okay.
And yeah, I was intending to do this episode of the podcast in French after some marketing feedback.
Good idea.
But yeah, the devil now tells me he can't speak French.
Okay.
But when we advertised for the role of Prince of Darkness, stroke King of the Underworld, I think we all agreed that multi-languages was an essential criteria, didn't we?
But he was the only person who wanted the
Yeah,
job.
yeah, he said that, but surely that's irrelevant.
No, it's not irrelevant. It's very irrelevant.
It's irrelevant how many people apply for the job, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not irrelevant. It's very relevant.
Right. So you didn't ask him about languages?
Yes, we asked him about the languages.
But you went ahead and you offered him the job anyway.
He was a very good candidate. He ticked all the boxes except languages and are you able to swim?
Well, you didn't tell me at the time, did you?
Well,
You didn't say to me, we've got this candidate. He seems okay, but he can only speak English. Oh, and don't ask him to swim.
swimming is
Well,
not
if
very
you had,
important.
I might have made a different decision.
Well,
Right.
I am here, you know.
Okay. Well, there's nothing I can do about it now, is there?
not a lot.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Oh, no problem. Bye now.
Oh, hang on a minute. Don't go yet. I
okay.
forgot. I've got this meeting tomorrow, haven't I, with Aristotle. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd forgotten that there's an early kickoff tomorrow.
You can't cancel.
Yeah, I know that.
3 times.
Yeah, I know. Honestly.
You can't cancel it again.
I mean, the thought of 2 hours talking about potentiality and actuality.
He has been incredibly patient.
I'd rather watch the early kickoff. Can you get me out of it?
Oh, merde.
Yeah, I know. I know it's a big favour.
He will go mad.
Tell him I'm not well.
Not well. You're good.
And I know it's rare that I'm not well.
Very rare.
Tell him it's rare.
It's never happened.
It's happened.
Oh, all right, I try.
Book him in for maybe Thursday. I don't think there's any football on Thursday.
Okay, I try.
All right. You're a star. I really appreciate it. All right.
Yes.
What would I do without you?
Watch football all day.
I'd probably find a devil that can speak French.
Good luck.
And swim.
Good luck.
No, but you are a star, honestly. Look after yourself.
And
Take
you.
care now.
Take care. Bye now.
He's a good lad. Good lad. All right. So we'll have to revert to English. We'll do English. Not a problem.
Good.
Perhaps we'll get you on some courses, some language courses.
Oh, I'd love
Good
that.
idea.
Yeah, brilliant idea.
But okay, so let's crack on.
Yeah, before we start, there was just one thing from me.
Yeah.
If we could, the theme tune at the start.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it, didn't we, at the beginning of episode 1? That was maybe a bit Jewish, which I know you don't see that as a problem, which is fine. It probably isn't a problem, but a few of the guys down below, we did get together and we've come up with something that I think you might like.
Right.
It's a bit more punchy. It's got a bit of character. Just wait to play it to you and see if you like it.
All right. I want to be open-minded. No one can accuse me of being a control freak.
As if.
Let's give it a listen. Give it a go.
Brilliant. Excellent. Well, keep an open mind. Let's get this queued up. And here we go. What do you think? Huh? I really like it. I mean, all aboard this cosmic cast, we'll dive deep and have a blast. That's pretty cool stuff, don't you agree?
It's definitely got something.
It has.
I mean, it's
not Jewish.
No, I agree. It is less Jewish.
It is.
Even though I don't actually think the current theme tune is particularly Jewish.
It is.
It's interesting. Let's yeah. When are you going to finish it?
It's finished.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, let's take that one offline and we'll have a discussion.
You didn't like it, did you?
But thank you and the boys. Who was involved?
Would you believe me if I told you Idi Amin was on lead guitar and Pol Pot was on drums?
No, I wouldn't.
No, it wasn't. It was just a couple of Hell's Angels that came in last week. But they're very good and good lads, I have to say.
Well done. I mean, again, thank you for putting it together and let's give that some thought. Excellent. So let's crack on. So since episode 1 of the podcast dropped, we've been inundated with your prayers, your graces, your chants.
Satanic verses.
Those things too. Asking all sorts of questions. So we thought it'd be nice to kick off episode 2 by maybe trying to address some of them. And let's start with probably the sweetest one that we received all week. This is absolutely lovely. The question you're going to hear shortly is from 8-year-old Emily. And although, to be fair, it won't be Emily's real voice that you'll be hearing due to GDPR. In fact, Emily's real voice.
Sounds like Alison Moyer.
She does sound a bit like Alison Moyer. She's quite deep for an 8-year-old. But here's Emily, bless her.
Dear God and Satan, I don't like to hear about all of the wars and horrible things that are happening in the world. What do you think of mankind? Have we mucked it all up?
Yes.
Whew, that is a...
Yes.
That's a hell of a question.
It's an easy answer. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Completely.
I don't think the answer is quite as simple as...
It is. They've completely
I don't think it is.
fucked it up.
Obviously when I created man and woman, the intention was very clear. The physical life was meant to be a precursor, if you will, to spiritual and eternal happiness, but only for those that deserve it.
You're answering this like City calm.
No, I'm not.
It's quite simple. As far as I'm concerned, it's quite simple. You made a very lovely environment
Thank you.
for men and women
Thank you.
to have a wonderful life, a very simple life in which they grow food, live happy lives, loving lives, look after each other until you die. And then you will have prepared yourself for spiritual enrichment.
This is the devil, is it?
Eternal happiness.
You haven't been replaced
what
by...
man has done continually through the ages is basically just fight. They just keep fighting.
It's not all fighting, is it?
Well, they do. They just, if they're not having a war, they're just fighting each other outside a pub over
I think
football result.
you're looking at it very negatively.
Something stupid. And that's basically just continued to get them into trouble. The other thing is, they're trying to be too clever, don't they?
What do you mean?
When you made man or woman, I don't think you were envisaging them landing on the moon, were you? Or sending photographs from 15 billion miles away of dust and being able to look at that dust and make all kinds of rash, probably incorrect assumptions about how the universe was built. They've just got too big for the boots.
Yeah, but at the same time, I didn't expect them just to continue to drag their knuckles on the floor and walk like monkeys. Even though there are obviously still large communities, particularly in northern England, where they still do that. But, the idea was that man would develop, and that has happened. I agree that, yes, there isn't to an extent. They may have gone slightly too far.
Way too far.
But,
way too far. I think and people are going to scoff at this, but just listen, hear me out, okay? Because in my opinion, the perfect role model for humans, and again, do please bear with me on this, but the perfect role model for humans is Joe Swash, because he's not developed at all, has he? You could probably put Joe Swash back 2,000 years and he'd still fit in. And I don't say that to be critical of the lad. I think what he's done is right, and that's the right approach. If every man on the planet were like Joe Swash, there wouldn't be any wars, would there? I mean, no one would know how a gun worked. They wouldn't know how a knife worked, probably. But that's, again, I'm not looking to be critical of Joe. I think he's got it right, and I just think everyone else has got it wrong.
Yeah, I would have to challenge you on some of that. I mean, at the end of the day, if we go forward 5,000 years, and then I'm looking back, and someone says, well, humans did well, didn't they? Because they ended up being able to help their wives in a TV program where they clean up someone else's mess. But, I would have hoped that humans would have developed certainly beyond that point.
You're just picking out one thing that Joe's done. Overall, Joe is a good, simple man. And I think that's what you intended.
No, I realise that. I do realise that. But as I said, I think I would have hoped humans would have developed beyond what kind of Joe is contributing. And again, I don't want to put Joe Swash down. You used him as an example, and I kind of understand why you've gone there. I would probably have been looking at someone a bit different. Maybe someone like Benedict Cumberbatch, who, for me, when I do look back, when I was creating Man, I think I had someone like Benedict Cumberbatch in mind. Someone quite lean, well-spoken, respectful,
posh,
quite talented. If the world were full of Benedict Cumberbatches, I think I'd be quite satisfied. Yeah, I would be satisfied.
Well, there'd definitely be no wars, that's for certain. Can't imagine Benedict Cumberbatch wanting to fight anyone. Maybe over an After Eight, the last After Eight maybe, but you could be right, Benedict Cumberbatch wouldn't be a bad choice.
Well, anyway, kind of just trying to summarise for little Debbie. Emily, sorry. I still hold out great optimism that mankind will get it right. They will strike a good balance. And the conflicts that we're seeing today will be resolved. And ultimately people will see the errors of their ways. And the earth will be a wonderful place to live.
No. I mean, I hate to say it, poor Emily, but there's every chance that you won't see a full life.
Don't say
there's
that.
Every chance that before you're 40, let's say,
you're being ridiculous now.
Nuclear war.
There won't.
And the earth will
Emily,
be no more.
Don't listen to him. Everything will be fine. Let's go on to our second question. This question comes from a young man called Jeremy. And again, we've changed his voice for GDPR reasons. And ironically, his voice is higher than Debbie's. Emily's. What's your question, Jeremy?
Hi, God and Satan. I think there are way too many celebrity chefs on TV today. What do you think?
Well,
yes.
Now this, I thought you'd say that. This is a question that my learned friend opposite me, don't know why I call him a friend, the person opposite me, he'll love this one because celebrity chefs, that's his pet hate.
It's my favourite topic.
Yeah, he will have some strong opinions here, I can tell you. So what I've done in advance, I've prepared a little bit of material for a kind of game, a kind of word association type thing.
Oh, brilliant.
So I'm going to show you a number of photographs of celebrity chefs, well-known celebrity chefs. And all I want you to do is kind of describe them, very quickly describe. It doesn't have to be one word, but a very succinct description, how you see each of these celebrity chefs. And if you can, obviously we'd like to try and keep it as clean as possible.
Well, that might be a bit more of a challenge, but we'll give it a go. Sounds good.
Great. Excellent. Okay, so let's kick off. And we will start with Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, Gordon Ramsay. Jacket potato, I'd say.
Jacket potato? What, because he's hot and steamy? Is it because of that? The steam? Is it that? The anger?
No, he looks like a jacket potato. You know, his kind of hair is the kind of fluffy bits that you kind of, when you squeeze a jacket potato, all the fluffy bits come out to the top, don't they? And then you could put grated cheese as well. Looks a bit like grated cheese, doesn't it?
Funny. It's funny. I can actually see that now.
Yeah, jacket
That's
potato.
amazing. So on to the next one. We've got Hugh Fernley Whittingstall.
Oh, HFW. I would say Catweasel. Yeah.
Catweasel, yeah. I can see that. Kind of curly hair, the wizardy look, and of course he's very wizardy, isn't he, in his approach to food?
No, it's just because I fucking hated Catweasel.
All right.
Absolute shite.
Did you?
It was obviously trying to be original, new, different, but actually all it ended up being was shit. So yeah, that's why I thought of Catweasel when you said Hugh Fairley Whittingstall.
All right, okay. Let's move straight on then to number 3. We've got Heston Blumenthal. You can't say that.
But he is.
You know you can't say that.
He is a...
He may well be. That's not for me to decide, but you can't say that. You want to say anything else?
No.
Right, okay, let's move on to the next one. James Martin.
James Martin. Tricky one. I'd say fried bread.
Fried bread?
Yeah. Fried bread. And the reason I say fried bread is because there are some elements of that I adore, and I do really like a lot of James Martin's cooking. It's right up my street. But at the same time, I know that it's really bad for me, and I really shouldn't be watching it.
Yeah, I get that.
Obviously, there's been the recent accusations of
Bullying.
Which I don't believe for a second.
Do you not?
Well, that's not true. I do believe them.
I believe them too.
I don't want to believe them. I think that's what it is. And again, it comes back to fried bread, doesn't it? I don't want to eat the fried bread. But there's every chance if it was on a plate with some sausages and beans and bacon, I'd eat it. Even though I know
You
I
shouldn't.
shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's interesting, isn't it? Okay, let's move on to another one. And we've got the lovely Gino D'Acampo.
Gino D'Acampo. Oh, he probably shouldn't be really in this section, should he?
Why? Why?
He's not a chef.
He is a chef.
He's not a chef.
He is.
He's not.
He is.
He's not a chef. Someone that can press the buttons on a microwave.
Oh.
He does.
He doesn't.
He's not a chef. He's not a trained chef, is he?
Well, it doesn't matter.
He's not. He is essentially a television personality that makes
And a chef.
spaghetti bolognese.
He doesn't
and
just...
lasagna. And occasionally pizzas.
Oh, you're generalising.
Trying to be affable.
I think he's affable.
Complicated, does he? He's just heating up tomatoes and meat. He's not a chef. Oh, and you know, if you asked me to summarise Gino D'Acampo, obviously I would probably just say thief.
Thief?
Yeah, thief.
Why thief?
Well, because of the whole Paul Young thing.
Paul Young thing?
Paul Young thing.
What,
You must
Paul
have heard
Young?
of the Paul Young thing.
I haven't heard of the Paul Young thing.
Gino D'Acampo, in his younger days, broke into Paul Young, the pop star, Paul Young, his house, and he stole his guitars.
Gino D'Acampo did?
He did.
No.
Look it up.
No way.
He did. He stole Paul Young's guitars.
Gino D'Acampo broke into Paul Young's house and stole his guitars. That is nonsense.
Look it up then.
I will look it up.
You'll find it. It's there.
Be careful here that we're not bloody sued.
It happened. He can't sue us if it happened, can he?
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, all right.
Dig ourselves a bigger hole. Next one is one of my favourites, Mary Berry. Bless her.
Bless her. Yeah. If I was going to very quickly summarise Mary Berry, I'd say Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Where'd you get that from?
Well, yeah, you can laugh.
I will laugh. Darth Vader.
You obviously have only researched what you wanted to research about Mary Berry.
He makes cakes.
Yeah, believe me, there's a much darker side.
Is
to
there?
that
Darker side.
That's lady in the very broadest sense of the word. You believe what you want.
I will.
You know, you've asked me to summarise from what I know of Mary Berry. And I
Ridiculous.
told you, Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. Good. All right, let's move on. Next one. What have we got? Tom Kerridge.
Tom Kerridge. I'd have to say Ghost, I think, for Tom.
Ghost.
Ghost, definitely.
All right. Why Ghost? Give me your reasoning behind Ghost.
No, I think it's obviously due to the weight loss thing.
Right.
And he always seems to be wearing white jackets. I don't know. I always see him in a long white jacket. But yeah, he just reminds me of a ghost. He looks very ghoulish. I just kind of imagine him maybe haunting a 15th century mansion just outside Cheddar. Probably mainly in the kitchen.
Right.
But yeah. And I don't know what it is, but whenever he's been on the telly, I always feel really hungry.
Right.
So yeah, definitely ghost.
Okay. All right, let's move on. 2 more to go. We've got Jamie Oliver, and I know what you're going to say.
No, you don't know what I'm going to say, actually.
Why not?
You probably had your beat button at the ready there.
I did.
No, if you'd have asked me this maybe 10 years ago, yes, you would have had to use the beat button quite
So what's changed then?
significantly. But no, I think there's a kind of sadness with Jamie now. It's quite sad. In his younger days, bombing around on his little scooter, looking happy, playing drums. Now he looks a bit sad. He looks a bit
In what way? Does he look
tired.
sad?
I think he's had enough. Even when they do these things with his family, you get a sense he doesn't want the children there. He wished they would bugger off and go and play on the PlayStation.
I'm sure that's not the case.
Rustle up some pasta. No, I feel sorry for Jamie.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I don't know how to describe him. If I was succinctly going to describe him, I'd probably say Bambi, because I felt really sorry for Bambi. And I think Jamie's like Bambi now.
You felt sorry for Bambi?
He's tragic.
Wow. All right, let's skip on. And the last of our chefs is Ainsley Harriott.
Ainsley Harriott. Well, Ainsley's in the same ballpark as Gina D'Acampo, really, in that he's not really a chef.
He is a chef.
He's
He is.
he's another TV personality.
He was one of the originals.
That purports to be able to cook.
He can
And
cook.
Effectively, what he does, if you notice, he makes salads.
He doesn't just make
mixes
salads.
Salad vegetables together into a bowl, mixes them all up so they look quite colourful. He always says, look at the colour, doesn't he? And
Oh,
that's
they are
that's
colourful.
a distraction tactic, that. Because all you're seeing is salad. And he might mix it up with some cold meat, and then throws it all together and puts some kind of dressing on it, which he's probably got out of a bottle. That's Ainsley Harriott.
Not.
And he's now become more famous for not rescuing his sister from a near-death situation at Chelsea Flower Show.
I thought he did rescue his sister.
No. He watched his sister. He could have rescued his sister, but he watched. I think he took a picture, actually.
He did.
Probably sold that to the Daily Mail.
Oh.
But yeah, and then afterwards, obviously threatened to sue the Chelsea Flower Show for almost drowning his sister.
You don't
He
like
probably
him,
could
do
have
you?
Just stepped into the water feature, which was 3 foot deep, and just pulled her out.
Right.
He was probably just in the middle of thinking up his latest salad.
All right. Well, we've reached the end of that. I enjoyed that. I thought
I
it was
really
a useful
enjoyed it.
exercise, and it showed
Got a lot off my
how
chest.
little you like and value celebrity chefs. Is there any? I suppose we should ask that. Is there any celebrity chefs that you do like? Let's go that way.
Yeah, there are.
Are there?
Nigella Lawson. Why did you make that noise for?
You know.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's very sexist. And
That's not
you know,
sexist.
people are going to assume that I've now said Nigella Lawson because I'm a sexist. But actually,
You probably are.
the sexism came entirely from you.
It did not. There was no sexism in what I
I
said.
like Nigella Lawson because of the meals that she produces.
I'm sure you do.
Irrespective of what she's wearing, whether she's in a dressing gown or anything, doesn't bother me.
Why did
I
you
just
mention a
like
dressing gown?
what she makes, and how she makes it.
All right.
So there.
No, you're all right. Fair enough. Nigella Lawson. I like Nigella Lawson too.
Good for you.
But I think that's probably all we've got time for. We did spend a good deal of time on celebrity chefs, which I'm sure you enjoyed.
Very much.
Hopefully, those that are still listening have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please tell your friends, get them involved.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe to the channel. like us as much as you can.
Like us.
And send those emails in, send those questions in. We'd really like to cover them on future episodes. But until then, this has been God
And the devil.
on the God and Satan podcast. We'll see you again very soon. Bye now.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care. Lots of care.